Basketball's back. If you're feeling good about that, I don't blame you. If you actually watched the preseason debut for the Golden State Warriors and you're feeling good about that, I don't blame you. If you're still feeling good because it's not Monday yet, I don't blame you. If you're watching this on a Monday, forgive me for that. Folks, the Golden State Warriors look good. I know it's just the preseason. I get it. All right. I'm not going to get overly excited about games that count as exhibition matches. At the same time, I don't give an F. They look good. Everything I'm thinking so far transpired to reality. It's just one game. It's just the preseason. But let's get excited together if you're feeling pumped like I am. And look, the NBA preseason does bear a little more relevancy than other sports. I'm going to explain what I mean by that. We're going to recap beautiful Warriors basketball. If you watched that game, happy Sunday night. Welcome to the program. Need to update the open. We're presented by FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Golden Days and the Believe Network. And the program is called the Golden Days.
They always find something to nitpick, and that's because there's expectations for us to win. Leave me alone this summer.
Woo! Let's go. In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up.
Hey there. Oh, baby, we're back. Season is back. Woo! Oh, it feels good to have basketball in our lives again. There's always just a void, at least in my soul, when we're in the off season. Preseason number 1 for the Golden State Warriors is now in the books, and their winners, I believe 111-103, the final score, even though that part does not matter. What matters is how the team looked, how certain individuals performed, whether new players look like they fit. And there's only one slight blemish in my notes, and even that I don't know if it's really a negative. So far, so damn good. Excellent start for the Golden State Warriors with one preseason game down. And I want to start the show off by reminding folks that most individuals out there, whether they're prognosticators, media folks, players, no matter who it is, most individuals out there are still sleeping on the Golden State Warriors. And what I mean by that is, over on FanDuel, if you go to the FanDuel Sportsbook, especially if you live in a place where you can gamble with FanDuel, Maron, congratulations to you for having that tremendous luxury. Because folks like me here in California, we don't get to play with FanDuel, at least not yet. Mr. President, if you can help us out here. I mean, Jesus Christ, you seem to be breaking every other law in the book. Why not add one more and legalize sports gambling for the whole country? I bring that up because right now, the odds for the Golden State Warriors to win the championship is plus 2,700. You bet $1, you win 270 betting on the Golden State Warriors to win the championship. Get in on that. The odds will never be this favorable again. And actually now, I know it's just one preseason game, but I want to check this out really quickly to see if the odds have been updated in just the last few hours. Again, courtesy of FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Golden Days. I'm going to go to their main NBA site and check out the futures. And I want to look at two particular things. One is, again, what are the odds for the Golden State Warriors in terms of them winning the title? And for some reason, FanDuel has me stuck on a Nuggets-Raptors game. There we go. Okay, so NBA Finals. The Golden State Warriors, it's still plus 2,700. Get in on that. If you're a gambling person, I'm telling you, this Warriors team, it's just one preseason game. Again, I get it, but they're built for success. They're built to make a run. And this is a quick moment for me to solicit, again, potential local advertisers. And here's why if you're interested in trying to market your brand and trying to raise awareness for whatever your business venture is, we still have 2 inventory slots open for local advertisers. And why is right now an amazing time to jump in on that? Because one awesome segment we do after every game is announce who the Golden State Warriors player of the game was. And this is where your sponsorship can be attached to that. For tonight, Curtis, it's the FanDuel player of the game. And there's one Warriors individual who clearly stuck out from the rest. Look, Stephen Curry had a fantastic first half. I thought Jimmy Butler played good basketball. Al Horford is a natural fit on this Warriors team. What a signing. Even guys like Quentin Post, Pat Spencer, GP2, JK, nearly everyone across the board. The rookie, Will Richard, even had a great game, hitting that 3. I mean, statistically not a great game. He was 1 for 4 from deep, but look, 1 for 4 better than 0 for 4. And that his late 3 was the seal of victory for the Golden State Warriors. But there is one player particularly who's going to earn the nod for tonight's FanDuel player of the game. And again, email us if you're interested in sponsoring the program, warriors24pod@gmail.com, because your name could be there in place of FanDuel. Tonight's FanDuel player of the game, and it's unanimous. We have among our 11 voters for who should be player of the game tonight, there is one clear-cut answer, and that is Mr. Moses Moody. Not the first pick by the Warriors in the 2021 draft, the second. Moses Moody looked damn good tonight. Moses Moody looked like someone who's been working on his game all offseason. Moses Moody looks like someone who is on the cusp of being a very real NBA player. His numbers tonight. Moses Moody played, let me make sure I have these stats correct. I'm going to refresh my page so they're updated. Because I'm looking at these numbers and I'm blown away. It's like, is this real? Yeah, it is. Here, Moses Moody tonight played 14 minutes, 52 seconds. That is not a huge body of work. That is not a massive sample size. He barely played above a quarter of basketball for your Golden State Warriors. And in those 14 minutes and 52 seconds, Moses Moody put up in fantastic numbers. Led the Warriors in scoring with 19 points. He was 5 of 7 shooting from deep, 7 of 9 shooting from the field total. Did not grab any boards, had an assist, had a steal. Led the Warriors in net rating with a plus 21, 19 points, 5 of 7 shooting from deep. Moses Moody is your FanDuel player of the night. Unbelievable performance from Mr. Moody. And if this is a sign of things to come, Madeline, this is going to be an awesome season for your Golden State Warriors. I'm pumped. I'm just absolutely elated, giddy about this Warriors team. And it starts with Moses Moody, who looked fantastic. I have 2 little negatives in my notes, and I'm going to get through those really quickly here, just so we could focus strictly on the positives. And I'll open up the link right now. If anyone wants to join the program tonight, look, even my pup, Bubba's ecstatic right now. He's bubbling as well. So I'll put the link in the chat in case anyone wants to just join in the celebratory mood of a preseason win. Look, we're not celebrating a preseason win. We're celebrating the fact that so far, besides the fact that basketball's back and we're elated for that reason, this Warriors team looks good. Yeah, but Bubba's pumped. That's right, Bubs. I get it. This Warriors team looks good. But Moses Moody, bravo to you. But he wasn't the only one that had a fantastic performance tonight. Stephen Curry, the veterans only played the first half of this game, and Steph is still at the peak of his powers. Steph does not look like a player who's 37 years of age, turning 38 next March. Stephen Curry, 14 points in this game, 3 of 5 shooting from beyond the arc, added 2 assists and a rebound. Steph, bravo to you, sir. It's great to see you. Welcome back to the NBA. I thought Jimmy Butler looked good tonight. He had 9 points in this game, 4 rebounds. But the 2 blemishes really quickly here, just to mention them, I want to get them out of the way. And even calling them a blemish is a bit extreme. These are just notes. These are just specific points in mind that I thought stuck out to me a little bit. One was the starting lineup. Yes, Steve Kerr went with Hobbit ball yet again. The starting five consisted of Draymond Green as your starting center. Moses Moody was your starting power forward. Jimmy Butler at the 3. Podziemski is your starting 2. Steph at the 1. And unsurprisingly, at least to me, the Warriors started this game down 7-0. DeAndre Ayton, for a brief moment, looked like the greatest free agent signing of the offseason by any team, largely because he's a 7-footer out there being defended by 6'6" Draymond Green. It's easy to score buckets when the opposition is tiny like that. Al Horford was your 6th man. The moment he came into the game, things started to shift immediately. There was even a course correction before the Al Horford sighting. But my guess is, and look, it's just one preseason game. Who the hell knows? The only person that has the answers to these questions is Steve Kerr. But something tells me that's not going to be the starting lineup long term. I think unless Steve Kerr is envisioning Al Horford being part of the second unit and just bringing him off the bench in his mind is the best way to go. I mean, look, he's the head coach, not me. Clearly, I would personally start Al Horford and not do this Hobbit ball starting 5. It did not pay off tonight. Thankfully, again, Al Horford came into the game early. I think Buddy Hield was the second player off the bench. So that was a slight blemish, and we shall see what happens with the starting lineup moving forward. It was just one game, and the only other not so excited point, like the only other note that I wrote down that I scribbled to discuss tonight was Brandon Podziemski, who did not look sharp to start this game. There was one particular instance at the start of the second quarter where Podziemski had just an ugly turnover. The start of the second quarter, by the way, Steve Kerr rolling with an interesting lineup of Steph, Podziemski, and then the threesome of Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, and Draymond Green. And newsflash, the world did not end. That unit actually looked pretty good. That fivesome last year, side note, as a 5-man lineup, had a positive net rating, so it was good to see Steve Kerr rolling back with that. But Podziemski at the start of the second quarter with that unit had a turnover, and then defensively gave up a 3 to Gabe Vincent. And that moment to me kind of symbolized the early part of the evening for Brandon Podziemski. But then Pod started to turn it around himself. Even he started to look good by the end of it. And again, I bring up Brandon Podziemski, and there's my dog Bubba just going crazy off that as well. Nonetheless, again, these aren't like points of criticism per se. These are just moments in the game that did not reflect the awesomeness of the night as a whole. And look, Brandon Podziemski, even with a so-so start to the game, iffy first half, he finishes the night with 8 points, 4 assists and a rebound, and huge surprise, kills it in the net rating category, a plus 16 for Brandon Podziemski. Again, just me personally, he is not my starting 2 guard. But at the same time, if the team wins, what are you going to do? Solo Dolo in the chat throwing out Moses Moody as the worthy starting 2 guard for this team. F2P giving praise to Jonathan Kuminga, who turns 23 years old tomorrow. So happy early birthday to Jonathan Kuminga. If you're watching this show on Monday, it will literally be his birthday. So happy birthday to Jonathan Kuminga. Desirio in our chat stating, impersonating Captain Obvious, saying this is a preseason game. Is it really, Desi? I didn't know that. He was shocked. I'm teasing. Nonetheless, with that said, now comes the positives in my little notebook here. And there were a lot of them. Stephen Curry for starters. And I need to get my box score for the other quarters, because I think Stephen Curry in this game tonight, he had 14 points total. I think 11 of those 14 came in the first quarter. He looked good. Stephen Curry is one of those players you never worry about rust. You never worry about anything, really. The only thing you ever worried about with Steph was early in his career in the ankles. And for a little bit early-ish in his career, I'd say the first half of his career, as he starts year 17, all with the Golden State Warriors. I believe I saw a stat tonight that listed Steph as having the 6th longest tenure of any NBA player from start to finish. Starting year 17, I did not see the list of the other 5 players who are ahead of Stephen Curry in terms of longest tenure with one team, but he looked fantastic. Steph is Steph. Does not look like he's aging. He's fantastic. He's marvelous. Al Horford looks like a perfect fit. I mean, it's seamless. This again, it's all going to come down to health. It's all going to come down to whether or not he will be available come March, April. And again, it's just one preseason game. I get it. I don't know how many times I have to say that tonight, but Al Horford looks like a perfect fit for this team. Horford played 14 minutes, 2 seconds tonight, was not very active offensively. He had one three-pointer made, had 3 field goal attempts. All 3 of those were 3-point attempts. But where he really stuck out to me, at least, was passing the ball. He was facilitating marvelously out there tonight, had 3 assists, and of course, the toughness inside. 4 big boards for Al Horford in 14 minutes, 2 seconds of play, was a plus 13 in net rating. Oh, and he also had 3 blocked shots in 14 minutes and 2 seconds. Al Horford, you are fantastic. Amazing signing. I cannot wait to see what comes from the Horford experiment this season. But so far, so damn good as we finish up the first preseason game. And side note, the reason why I said at the very beginning of the show that the preseason carries weight in the NBA, more so, I think, than other sports. And when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, I want to mention to you this stat, which shows that the Warriors prefer being focused, getting started on the mission at hand right off the bat. The preseason for the Warriors is their tune-up for the main event. They treat it seriously, especially in seasons where they win the title. 2014-15, when the Warriors dynasty formally began with their first championship. The Warriors finished that preseason, and you might be surprised by this because the Warriors played 8 preseason games that year, and they were 6-2. They lost 2 preseason games to Miami and Houston. They won their first 4 preseason games, again, finished that run with a 6-2 record. The second title of the dynasty, Kevin Durant's first season, the Golden State Warriors were 6-1 in the preseason. They lost 1 game to Toronto in the preseason. That was the preseason opener. Then they won 6 in a row and set the tone for the regular season. The only preseason that did not match up with the regular season and postseason success was Durant's second year. And in case you folks forgot, the veterans barely played that preseason. They already knew exactly what their mindset was, what the rotations were. They were the reigning world champions. So that preseason, they went 2-2. They only played 4 preseason games in the 17-18 season. That was title number 3 of the dynasty, and they went 2-2. And then fast forward to 2021-2022, the 4th championship of the dynasty, and the Warriors went a perfect 5-0. And again, I don't think it is a coincidence that the Warriors had this preseason success lining up with these championships. They mean business. Okay, like they're not looking at these preseason games as, oh, they don't count. We don't have to, go full steam. And I'm not saying they went full steam tonight, but they did treat this like professionals. And the preseason in the NBA does bear some relevancy because of how limited practice time is, because of how short training camp is. The preseason matters in terms of building chemistry and setting your rotations and just coming into the season with a mindset in terms of what your approach is going to be. This Warriors team looks sharp, and I was very pleased with what I saw tonight. And I wanted to add as well that in the years of the Warriors won the titles, again, with the exception of the second Kevin Durant championship where they went 2-2, they win. They win preseason games. I mean, again, 6-2, 6-1. 5-0, 2-2. Those were the preseason records. Last year, I think they went 6-0. And I still maintain last year they won the championship if Kuminga was part of the rotation. But I digress. Who cares? Going back to the notes real fast, and I'll try to play some sound if any comes down tonight. Ryan Leong will not join us tonight. He will make some appearances this season, as he did last year live from Chase Center. But I want to check out the other media folks who are covering the game to see if anyone else uploaded some sound, because if they did, I will happily play it. No sound yet as far as I can see. And if anything comes down during the broadcast tonight, I'll play it. But going back to the notes in terms of what I had for this game, Moses, we already talked about Moses Moody, who was just, again, our FanDuel player of the game tonight. He was absolutely marvelous. One thing I noted for this game tonight, someone asked this question a week or two ago in the audience, and the question was posed whether or not Quinton Post and Al Horford were going to play together on the floor. That question was answered tonight. At least for preseason game number 1, they did. They were on the floor together late second quarter. Post and Horford out there together. It didn't really stick out to me as a positive or negative. It was nice to see that the coaching staff was open-minded enough to roll with a bigger lineup like that. Quinton Post, I thought, looked good as well. Again, we didn't see him until his first appearance of this game was not until the mid or late second quarter. Again, and I can't remember if Post came in while Horford was on the floor. I think that's what happened. But Quinton Post played 15 minutes, 46 seconds in this game tonight. 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 2 from deep. A 7-point game for him, added 3 rebounds, and second on the team in net rating with a plus 20. Just 1 behind Moses Moody, who was a plus 21. But I thought Quinton Post looked good out there tonight. 2 players for the Warriors that came into the game very late were Guy Santos and Trace Jackson Davis. Of the regulars on the team, they were the last to be checked into the game. Guy Santos played 15 minutes, 5 seconds, had 5 points, 3 assists, 2 boards. And then Trace Jackson Davis played 12 minutes, 46 seconds, had 4 points, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. Pat Spencer had a long run in this one. Again, we're not going to see DeAnthony Melton or Seth Curry. Seth will not be available until mid-November because of his contract in the second apron. DeAnthony Melton's still recovering from the torn ACL he suffered at the beginning of last season when he was still in the Warriors. He's not expected to be back until December, maybe January. But look, this Warriors team is deep. This Warriors team is talented. I don't see chinks in the armor for this team. I don't. Look, the only reason why I'm not sitting here on October 5th screaming guarantee in regards to the Warriors winning a title is the age factor. If they stay healthy, I don't see anyone beating them. I don't. And I'm convinced of that. But the health factor is a huge if. This is the oldest team in the NBA. Jonathan Kuminga, look, I don't like playing the body language game usually, but I'll play it for tonight just to entertain. Body language doctors, I imagine, took a look at how Kuminga played tonight. They looked at his facial expressions. They looked at his role and the amount of times he, let's say, passed the ball versus shot it. There was one particular possession where he had a wide open 3-pointer that he could have attempted, and instead he attacked and made the bucket. And the broadcast crew highlighted that possession as being an example of something that would make Steve Kerr a lot happier versus maybe a decision that Kuminga would have made a year ago. I thought Kuminga was played beautiful basketball tonight. Again, did not start, played 14 minutes, 44 seconds, had 2 3-point attempts, did make one of them, the second one, a very clean stroke. Again, I'm a huge Kuminga fan, obviously. And I thought he played his role well. 14 minutes, 44 seconds, 5 points, but the stat that I think will make a lot of his detractors, a lot of his skeptics very happy is the 6 rebounds and the 4 assists for the haters out there who claim Jonathan Kuminga does not pass the ball. He was a distributor tonight. He also had 1 block, +7 in net rating. So 5 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. I'm sorry. Let me start over. 5 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. for Jonathan Kuminga, who was 2 of 3 from the field. The one blemish on his game tonight, missed free throws. He was 0 of 2 in that category. The Warriors as a whole from the free throw line, 16 of 21. Not bad, especially by their standards. That was a category where they struggled a year ago. The team, in terms of three-point shooting collectively, was 17 of 43, good for 39.5%. Yes, folks, that's a good number. So this was spectacular. And again, I put the link because I see like AC's writing, for example, saying Kuminga's haters will never be happy. I have not been keeping track of the chat closely. Apologies for that. I posted the link in case anyone wanted to come on. If I don't know why you would not be happy with Kuminga's performance tonight. I feel like the only way you would be unhappy if you're a Kuminga hater and you want him traded. And again, this is the paradox you Kuminga haters find yourselves in, is if Kuminga plays a lot and he does well, which is what he'd need to do to get traded for maximum value, they wouldn't trade him at that point, right? So that's one paradox. And then the other paradox is, okay, I hate him. I don't want him to play at all. Well, if he doesn't play at all, then his trade value is going to suck, and the Warriors don't come out winners, period, in that scenario. So Rin Daw in the chat adding, I was wondering if you thought if once Kuminga is tradable in January, and that's going to be more specifically January 15th, if the Warriors could trade Jonathan Kuminga and Trayce Jackson-Davis for Bam Adebayo with Miami. Who knows? I mean, Bam Adebayo's name, I think it was Jake Fisher who wrote that there might be some interest from the Warriors side in trading for Bam. Who knows if Miami would make him available? But I'll say this. We all know how Steve Kerr feels about playing bigs, and especially bigs that don't have a three-point shot. And I think that's the biggest reason why I don't see that trade happening. I wouldn't hate it, but now that you have Al Horford, you have Quentin Post coming off the bench, you have Trayce Jackson-Davis coming off the bench. If you're the Warriors and if Kuminga plays like this, like, why would you make that trade, if that makes sense? I'm not saying I hate it, but I try to factor Steve Kerr in all of these scenarios and whether or not Steve Kerr would actually take advantage of having a player like Bam Adebayo in his lineup. And I don't know if he would. For the folks out there who worry about spacing, Bam Adebayo, horizontal spacing, floor spacing, Bam Adebayo does not solve that. He obviously is a huge help with the vertical spacing, but we also know Steve Kerr does not value that dimension nearly as much as the floor spacing. So I just don't see it happening. I really don't. And I could be wrong on all of that. Dr. Sean Stanley in the chat adding that he doesn't think the Warriors are looking to trade Kuminga now anyways. I agree. So, again, look, if the Warriors are playing like this, and I know it's just one preseason game, and I know the Lakers weren't playing anybody, and all the Warriors were doing tonight was just getting their legs under them, just getting some conditioning in, starting to figure out which rotations look good, maybe which ones don't. Like, if there's a takeaway for me from this game tonight, it's to scrap that starting lineup that you rolled with. It's too small. I know it worked for that stretch in the final third of the season last year, but it's a new season. You have too much talent on this team to roll with a small ball lineup like that. Why add the strain and the rigor to Draymond Green's body, playing him with the small ball five? Al Horford is a seamless fit. And the fact that he can space the floor with shooting, the fact that he can still play defense and grab boards, it tells me that he should be playing the starting position. At the same time, if Kerr's thinking he wants Horford off the bench, there was a Kerr mentioned in a press conference a couple days ago that he really liked the Al Horford-Jonathan Kuminga pairing. And so I could see that being a good reason for him being a bench piece. But Draymond Green is your small ball five. I'm not enamored by it. And we'll see if Steve Kerr saw the beginning of tonight's game, which saw the Lakers jump out to a 7-0 lead against that small ball lineup. We'll see if that affects Kerr's decision-making at all. With all that said, great game. Great win for a preseason game. But again, all the title years, with the exception of KD's second, and even that KD's second title with the Warriors, they still went 5-5 in the postseason or in the preseason. So with that said, the preseason does bear some relevancy. And when the Warriors look good like this, it usually foreshadows fantastic things to come. We shall see what happens. I don't see any sound having. Oh, no, we got a Stephen Curry cut. This is courtesy. So let's play some sound before we wrap up a short and sweet episode tonight. Here is Stephen Curry. This is courtesy of Sam Gordon of the San Francisco Chronicle, posting a clip of Stephen Curry. Let's hear from Steph, everyone's favorite player, if you're a Warriors fan. See, and again, my puppy's riled there. He's like, Steph, yeah, Steph. That's right, buddy. Steph. Let's hear from Stephen Curry following tonight's win by your Golden State Warriors. One last thing, make sure you turn up the volume on your devices because Sam uploaded this with his cell phone. So keep in mind the audio level is low. Once again, here is Wardell Stephen Curry.
Experience, championship caliber player that really fit with any lineup out there. He gives us space. He gives us presence on the defensive end. You saw the pass he made to me out the corner when I give and go. So it's just kind of unspoken chemistry that will continue to get better. But he is kind of multi-dimensional as a five-man, and excited to see what that looks like. For me, for Jimmy, J.K., Draymond. And I get any lineup, you can throw him out there at the five, and he kind of lists the group.
So there you go. There's Wardell, just talking about some matchups, and again, there'll be plenty of more sound. We will not have a Heidi Fall in the chat, by the way, saying Al Horford should start. I don't know if we'll have an episode tomorrow. Again, friendly reminder: V for Valkyries on hiatus until the next WNBA season. Sophia Jones focusing full-time on the WNBA. So I don't know if we'll have an episode tomorrow. Looking ahead for the Warriors' schedule in terms of the preseason, game number 2 on the docket. The Warriors have 5 preseason games scheduled this year. The next one is Wednesday, October 8th. We'll definitely have a show before then. So stay tuned for that. But I'll try to go live tomorrow. There will undoubtedly be a lot more sound, a lot more to discuss, especially after hearing comments from some of the veterans and from Steve Kerr himself. So we'll have plenty more programming to come. But look, I think that the bottom line is this. Basketball's back. Preseason game number 1 should have done nothing but make you feel optimistic about this Warriors team. I'm jonesing for more. Give me Warriors basketball, baby. They look good. This is like I've got some good feelings about this team, folks. I'm excited for the ride we're all going to go on this year. Oh, wait. Money Checkup in the chat saying they didn't look that good. What were you watching? Money Checkup, follow up with that before we end the show with what didn't look good, because I'm very baffled. Exactly. And then Chef 7 adding in the chat, can't wait for DeAnthony Melton and Seth Curry. I'm a little surprised Seth Curry did not play in the game tonight. I don't think that, and according to the NBA's box score, it was a coach's decision. So I hope we see Seth in game 2, because I'd really like to see that. So Money Checkup's adding that the Warriors struggled against the Lakers without their stars. Are you referring to like the Warriors' third stringers? Let me remind you again who the bench was for the Warriors in this game. Quentin Post, solid game. Jonathan Kuminga, solid game. Buddy Hield, I don't think I read his stat line tonight. Buddy in this game played 18 minutes, 20 seconds, 5 of 10 from the field, added a 3-pointer, added 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Buddy Hield also had 3 steals. Buddy, good job with the defense. Buddy Hield was also a plus 16 in net rating, poured in 11 points. So he came off the bench. I thought he played great. Al Horford came off the bench. I thought he played fantastic. GP2 even looked good. GP2 actually had some bounce under his step. He looked healthy, which is something I have not been able to comfortably and honestly say since the 2022 season. GP2 looked good tonight in 10 minutes 38 seconds. A perfect 3 of 3 from the field. Even hit a 3-point shot. Had 7 points in this game. Pat Spencer came off the bench. He looked good. I mean, are you pointing more specifically to the LJ Cryer, the Marcus Bolden minutes, what's the other guy's name? Jackson Rowe minutes? I mean, look, these guys are not going to be part of the rotation. Focus on the players who actually will be playing this year. All of those guys were fantastic, Money Checkup. Be optimistic. They were fine. The only players that were not blowing our socks off were the players who aren't going to be seeing minutes in the regular season, who probably won't even make the team. I'm feeling fantastic about this Warriors team. My Lord, even Will Richard, the rookie, I thought even he looked good. I thought he was playing good defense. I noticed he stayed in front of his defensive assignment. Thankfully hit that last 3, so he didn't toss him a donut in terms of 3-pointers. Like, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling absolutely great. And then Armando Lara, the professor, saying this was against the Lakers G League roster. It doesn't matter who the opposition was. From my perspective, we just had to see the Warriors players and how they were going to look together. I'm elated. I feel so damn good. Shardal, what is up, brother? Asking, can he be the host? We'll do it another night. I want to wrap it up for the evening. This is going to be a short and sweet show coming off preseason game number 1. Folks, feel good about your Golden State Warriors. That's what I'm taking away from it. Let me see if there's any more sound before we call it a night. I'd love to hear from either Kerr or from one of the veterans. I know we heard from Stephen Curry briefly, but the sound really sucked on that. Let me see if there's anything else that has come down this soon down the wire. When the regular season starts, sound will be delivered more quickly. So there won't be this drought of media clips from the players and coaches. Not much down the wire tonight, at least in terms of what I'm seeing. And who cares? It's preseason number 1. Everyone is just rolling in and out of that arena on a night like this. They look good, all right? If your Uncle Si's opinion matters, take this away as I wrap up the show. This Warriors team is going to be competing for a championship this year. That I guarantee. Whether they do it, they are old. But damn, they're going to be relevant, and they're going to be competing. I like him against anybody except the Denver Nuggets. That team scares the shit out of me. But that's for another show, another day. For tonight, be optimistic. Feel good about your Golden State Warriors. Feel good about basketball being back. Things are feeling more normal than they did just a day ago. Yeah, good stuff. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back at this soon. Bye-bye. Go Dubs. Bye.